Your youth speaks this morning are two incredibly wonderful ladies, and I think that is just another indication that we are one because they're both named Ashley.
Can't deny the youth program. It's all right. Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a religious science young adult, and I want to thank you tremendously for having us here. It means so much to the young adult community that we've been invited to be part of this experience and to contribute to Asilomar. I can't even tell you. When I learned about the opportunity, I was ecstatic, and it's, as I've said, it's really just icing on the cake that I get to be directly involved in that representation of our young adults. So thank you for inviting us here in consciousness, whether you are aware of our program or not. When I knew I got to speak, I found it very easy to fill pages, literally pages of notebooks, because I'm one of those people, with notes about what I wanted to communicate about our program, what I wanted you to hear, if not see and know, the way that I see and know it, the way that I love our young adult program. Unfortunately at the time, my instruction, my assignment was to speak on my personal experience with the young adult program, and so I found it so easy to say all these things that I wanted everyone to know about this thing that I love and how great it was and why you should support it and love it the way I do, that the personal experience part of the assignment ended up being a tiny bullet that was neglected for a while. I wasn't very clear on what I wanted to say about that. I knew that I wanted you to hear that our young adult program owes its vitality and its momentum to our incredible youth program, and it wouldn't exist without it. The youth program, the religious science youth program, is phenomenal. It is a treasure, and if you don't know how incredible it is, literally to humanity and to the people who are touched by it, I encourage you to get in touch with that, because I mean, it is life-changing. I wanted you to know and see that our young adult program is full of vibrantly engaged, powerful metaphysicians who are seeking to create a community through which to explore their spirituality, and they're seeking opportunities to glean tools and teachers and to create that in their lives. I wanted you to know that these are the leaders of tomorrow. These are ministers. We are practitioners. We are the people who will be running Asilomar, and we are people who want to be directly and powerfully in service and in support of this community and growing it in magnificent ways. I wanted you to hear that it's a community full of people with rich talents and gifts who are searching for experiences in which to give them. Churches, they may seem reluctant, but they're out there. They just need a little bit of, coaxing sometimes. We're shy. I don't know. It's a high energy and progressive, expanding, revitalizing community. This is a group of people who are looking at the teachings of religious science in a new way, with new eyes. And what's so incredible about this group of people is that they're steeped in a background that is all about dynamic, powerful, demonstrative, tangible love. It's a group of people who have had the tremendous opportunity to, many of us, been raised in this teaching, and largely through youth camps and just through being around incredible people, incredible teachers, have been able to feel it in a way that I know not everyone has. We go to classes, we go to church, but a lot of these principles remain cerebral and at times archaic and very much in our minds. And what is so extraordinary about being around people in my generation is that they're living it and they're doing it, and you can't deny that. And it is such an extraordinary challenge and a calling to be something greater and something closer to the truth of what you are, seeing these people live at that level every day, all the time. It's phenomenal. I wanted you to know that we're the beginning of a movement. I wasn't sure what to call the Young Adult program. Young Adult seminars were an annual seminar. We have sporadic services. The Corona Hills Church of Religious Science has a Young Adult themed service. There are different groups and services in various churches, but I didn't really know what to call it. It is a movement, and I guess part of the reason that I wanted to communicate all these things to you is because I felt like in many ways it is in its infancy. Well, not infancy, it's more of a toddler because it throws temper tantrums and puts stuff in its mouth, but it's cute. So I felt like I, in some ways, needed you to scoop it up and want to support and nurture it. Unfortunately, that wasn't my assignment. I still haven't talked about my personal experience, and I need to be brief. I was recently speaking with a close friend who, fittingly, is someone I met through youth seminars, but our friendship was born through the Young Adult program. And I barely knew what I was saying to him at the time, but we were discussing something about, in the desire to be something that you knew was the truth for you, an idea that you have in your mind, there's something that creates a difference between talking about it and being it. And there's something that creates a difference in even discussing the intention to do it, as much as setting intention is important, that there's still something that creates a difference focusing on saying what it is and what it needs to be instead of surrendering to being it. And as soon as that came into my mind in a powerful way, the phrase, the passage, love is sufficient unto love, was echoing in my brain, just ping-ponging around in there, and I realized that was really the key for me, being able to share what my personal experience with young adult is. I was reluctant to share because it's so personal, and that's actually what young adult is. It takes the teaching out of the books and into your life, and into your heart in a very real way, and in a way that's not deniable. It's at the center of you. I was afraid it would be too powerful to me to come up here and talk to you about my personal experience, but the reality is that the Young Adult program is so powerfully loving, and it's such a challenge to you in all the best ways that you can't help but know more for yourself and be closer to your truth. I was afraid of being too vulnerable and too real with you, but that's what Young Adult calls us to be. That's what that community demands from you. And I was afraid that I would be overwhelmed with the emotions of my experience through Young Adult. That I would feel out of control. But the reality is that the Young Adult program is bigger than I am, and the gifts that it gives me are bigger than I am. And they have overwhelmed what I knew for myself and what I was willing to claim for myself before. They have overwhelmed the person that I was, and I can no longer continue to be that human being. So, as much as I wanted you to know something, I wanted you to see the gifts and to see the value and pick it up and love it and nurture it and support it and cherish it as much as I do. But I realized that the reality is that whether you know about the Young Adult program or not, because you are metaphysicians and because you are religious scientists and because you're here today and because you have your whole self or your baby toe even in this, that you are lucky to be a part of it, whether you know it or not. So that's powerful for me.